In 2010, if you wanted a photo like this, you needed a camera like this. $10,000 of glass, a tripod, and someone who knew what an aperture even was. Today, you're carrying something that beats it, and it's in your pocket. The lens on your phone isn't the reason. What's actually happening is closer to a supercomputer running 100 calculations before you even see the photo. Here's the thing nobody tells you when they compare camera specs: megapixels, lens size, aperture. That's the old way of thinking about photography. It's marketing. The actual leap over the last decade didn't happen in the glass. It happened in the chip sitting right behind it. Every photo your phone takes isn't one photo. It's dozens, sometimes hundreds, stitched, blended, and corrected in the time it takes you to blink. This is called computational photography, and the concept is simple, even if the math isn't. Instead of trying to capture one perfect image in one shot, like film cameras always had to, your phone captures a burst of images in a fraction of a second. Different exposures, different focus points, sometimes different lenses entirely firing at once. Then a dedicated processor built specifically for this job compares every frame, throws out the noise, keeps the sharpest details from each one, and merges them into a single photo that no single exposure could have captured alone. Take low light. A decade ago, a dark room meant a blurry photo or a flash that washed everyone out. There was no way around it. Physics. A small lens lets in less light, period. So phone makers stopped trying to beat physics and started beating it with software. Night mode takes a series of long exposure frames, sometimes 10 or more, each catching a little more light without letting any single frame blur from a shaky hand. Then it aligns them, cancels out the shake, and averages the light together. What you get is a photo that looks like it was shot with a tripod and a professional sensor, produced entirely with software squeezing more information out of light that was already barely there. Or take that blurry background behind your subject, bokeh, the kind you'd get from an expensive lens with a wide aperture. Your phone's lens is tiny. Physically, it can't produce that blur on its own, so it doesn't try. Instead, the phone uses 2 or more cameras, or a depth sensor, to build a rough 3D map of the scene, figuring out what's close and what's far. Then it artificially blurs everything that isn't the subject, frame by frame, in software. It's not an optical effect anymore. It's a simulation of one, and increasingly a very convincing one. Zoom is where this gets more controversial. A tiny phone lens physically cannot zoom the way a long telephoto lens can. There just isn't room for that much glass. So instead, phones lean harder on software. They combine multiple lenses, crop deep into the sensor, and then use AI models trained on millions of photos to reconstruct detail that the sensor didn't actually capture. When you zoom into the moon or a street sign 3 blocks away, some of what you're seeing isn't a direct optical capture. It's the phone's best guess, an AI-generated estimate of what that detail probably looks like based on patterns it has learned before. Put it all together, and what you're holding is a device quietly replicating things that used to require a bag full of separate tools. A tripod for stability, a flash for light, an expensive lens for background blur, a telephoto for distance. None of that hardware disappeared. It got replaced by a chip doing math fast enough that you never notice it happening. This is why comparing phones by megapixels alone stopped making sense years ago. The real spec that matters now is how good the image processor is, and how good the AI model behind it has gotten. And this is only accelerating. The next generation of phone cameras is leaning even further into AI, not just cleaning up a photo you took, but generating detail that was never optically captured at all. Zoom into a subject far enough today, and you're already seeing AI fill in texture, sharpness, even facial features based on probability, not light hitting a sensor. As that technology improves, the line between photograph and AI reconstruction gets blurrier. At some point, the question won't be how good your phone's camera is. It'll be how much of the photo your phone's camera actually saw and how much it invented. So next time someone tells you a phone takes great pictures because of its camera, you can tell them it's not really the camera at all. It's the computer sitting behind it doing the equivalent of 100 tiny decisions every single time you tap the shutter. If you want to see how this same kind of AI processing is changing other everyday tech, there's another video linked right here. And if this one helped make sense of it, subscribing helps this channel keep making them.